Hey parents, Master Shill here with the Summer Camp FAQ series, and today we're talking about discipline. So one of the biggest things that we've seen, especially post-COVID, is a lot of the children are a very different place than they were pre-COVID. Their anxiety levels are up, they're sadder, they're more anxious, and then on top of that, they have these emotional outbursts a lot of times. And so one thing that we're working a lot with them on is social interaction and engagement. Another couple things that we've seen too is that anytime anybody thinks they're having a disagreement with somebody, automatically in their head they're being bullied or someone's being mean. And in a lot of cases it's not the case. Sometimes they're just not getting along with each other, and so we redirect them. And so we even work on conflict resolution here in the academy. So one thing I'll tell you, that when we have a child that's just acting out completely, a lot of times nothing more than a conversation will take care of that. And one of the things that we do preemptively is that we work hard to work with the parents to give the schedule and the outlines on where we're going, what we're doing, what the schedule's like on that day. Because a lot of kids, if they have the schedule, they know what's going on. A lot of times their fears and anxiety will be put to rest a little bit, or at least diminished somewhat. When those discipline issues do come up, a lot of times nothing more than a conversation to find out what's really going on, and coaching them through that will take care of that. For us, because we're a martial arts academy, if I do have severe cases going on, or it's highly repetitive and they're just not getting the conversations, or they're losing their, lack of a better description, their playtime, then what we do is we'll have them do exercises. And it's nothing more than exercises you wouldn't see in gym class. Push-ups, sit-ups, they may jog, they may do some different things. We also work very hard to make sure we're constantly keeping them active so that they're not getting bored and idle, and then they're looking for things to be mischievous about. We try to keep any kind of loud talking or yelling to a minimum. A lot of times we don't have to do that by just with the structure and routine that we do inside of the academy. And that's something, one thing that I would definitely ask is, what are the camps, if you're not looking at us, you're looking at somebody else, what is their discipline routine? One thing I'll tell you to look for is, are the teachers calling the kids friends? Friends, can you do this? Friends, can you do that? That's actually a bad thing. And the reason why is that as parents, we always tell our own children, your friends are not the boss of you. And so even the schools use this friend nomenclature. And so when they're saying friends, subconsciously the child's like, my parents said I don't have to listen to my friends. So if we're friends, I don't have to listen to you. And they don't realize that that's what's going on. So if they're using that, I would highly recommend either saying something to them if you want to keep them there, or choosing a different camp, even if it's not ours. Because what's going to happen is the child's going to have a misunderstanding about the relationship. Another thing that we do here is I don't hire kids to act as counselors. There may be some of my black belts that may be junior counselors, and they're in support roles. That means they're helping the children if something's going on. They're encouraging them. They're never allowed to discipline them. They're never allowed to say cross words at them. They're to say, hey, let's go, let's get where it needs to be, or help them out. They're not in a position of authority. They're in a position of support, and that's a big difference. They understand where they're at. But that's one thing we do. We highly train our staff. We walk through these processes, and sometimes if we see that a child's just really, getting underneath an instructor's skin, then we have a tag out method. Hey, I need a tag out. I need someone else to deal with this, please. Because what we found is that you're bringing somebody else in, maybe that child's just been doing this all day long. And believe me, we get frustrated sometimes too. But we have methods that we use to make sure that if something like that it's escalating, then we move it and we get someone else involved. Or they bring it to me and I take care of it. And a lot of times when the kids are coming to me, it's like going to the principal's office, They like, I don't want to do that. I'm like, well, then you know how to act. You're a smart young man or a smart young lady. You don't need to do the things you're doing to get the attention you're looking for. Sometimes for them, it's frustration. Sometimes I don't know how to communicate, hey, this is bothering me, or I don't understand, or I didn't win at the game. And that's probably the biggest thing we see frustration-wise is losing. And so we have to teach them how to lose the right way. Not lose and saying you're a loser, saying, okay, I didn't have the outcome I wanted that time. What can I do next time to have a more desired outcome? And I would highly recommend as parents, even if you don't choose summer camp anywhere, help them learn how to lose. Losing is a good thing sometimes if it's done the right way. That's when you can have the best growth during those times. If we win all the time, we don't ever learn anything. So I hope this answers your question about discipline. If there's any further questions, please give me a call. I'll be happy to answer them for you. And, ask those questions. If you're not choosing our camp, you're choosing someone else, ask those questions. They're important because that time when they're having those troubles and how that instructor or that counselor responds back to them can have a massive impact on their self-confidence and their self-esteem. So we want to make sure and help them. We want to make sure and instill that discipline, but we also want to make sure and encourage and empower them to be greater versions of themselves every day. Look forward to seeing you soon. Bye-bye.